Alright guys, I tested this earlier. There was no echo or anything with my microphone, but there must have been a glitch with the live thing last night, so I'm going to just try something different today. I'm going to record this ahead of time and I'll premiere it at the time that it will go up. I want to point out that there are only 4 spots left on this Libertad that I posted for last night. It is a 1 ounce, 0.999 silver Libertad, which is a Spanish, well, Libertad is Spanish coin. It's 2019. Put that information in there, and it's $6 a spot. There's only 4 spots left, and whoever wins will get that. And I will do a spot on the satellite for whoever wins again on that. There are 2 spots taken on the satellite now. I just haven't had the other person tell me which number they want yet. So waiting on that, but there's 8 spots left at $10 a spot. These gold satellite spots are $10 a spot to fill up the $100 spots for a half ounce of gold. A half ounce of gold, guys, won't be long before it could be worth $10,000. And if you think I'm crazy, it's only because our dollar will continue to drop in its value. And as all the banks are hoarding gold and some palladium to pay off their debt and loans, and to be able to afford what's going to happen when the dollar crashes and gold becomes actually valued at what it should be, and silver comes up with it. Silver could go as high as $700, $800, $900 an ounce, which means you don't have to cash it in for dollars, guys. It just means that you're going to be able to, with 1 ounce, purchase something that would cost everybody else $700, $800, $900. Or if you have gold, it could be up to $10,000 an ounce. So 1 ounce of gold being worth what everybody else would have to use $10,000 to buy. Think about that, guys. That's why the combi bars are a good idea. I really want to thank my patrons. I have a new patron, and I'm grateful. I really am grateful. And when I get more patron stuff going, I'm going to do more fun things on my patron account. Maybe do like a live feed where I just do part of it live here. Maybe I'll start trying to do interviews with people. I'm not sure if that's my area of expertise or not, but I haven't really tried yet. So if I decide I want to do some interviews with people, I love how Gons Shimmer does it with Canary Cry. They'll do half of, it's not even an interview, he does a podcast. They do half of it on YouTube, and then they do the other half only on Patreon. And so you gotta be a patron donor to get to hear all the rest, which I'm really considering because it's one of my favorite channels, one of my favorite sources of information, great information from incredibly intelligent people. Since I was talking to you about buying gold and silver, I do deal in it, and anyone can join with me doing what I do. I earn income with this, which is how I stay home with my girls. It's how I'm able to pick them up when they need to be picked up and drive them to school, and if they get sick, go pick them up and not have to ask anybody's permission to leave my job. This is my information. You probably know my email is ladyliberty@countermail.com because that's how you pay my PayPal to get a spot, guys, right? So, or my Cash App. And that's my phone number. That's my cell phone number to call or text if you want to talk about this. I prefer for a call, it would be about gold and silver. I do love to talk about it. If you want to offer any really interesting information regarding the stuff I talk about on my live stuff as well as what I'm doing here today, you can email me that anytime. I love that stuff. It doesn't mean I'm going to do a show on it, but often I do. Often I will talk about it, whether it's live or I do a deep dig. Every once in a while I'll do a deep dig. I did a deep dig just because somebody recommended I rewatch Underworld. And look, it came out to a 2-part video series. So the recommendations are good for me, guys, because I can't be out there doing all the research by myself. I really would love to have a team. And you guys are my team. So I love you guys. Anyway, if you want to stack, you can, like, oh, is the pricing really good? Well, you can come look. You can say, all right, here's what the prices are on Aaron's gold and silver. Well, the whole 7K metals vault, but this is their prices. And then you compare it real time, guys, to another website, and you're going to see that we beat the prices every time, sometimes hundreds of dollars in difference. And you need to compare the exact same thing from this website to another website. If you're comparing, an American gold buffalo to this peso, from a different website, they're going to be different just as they are here. These prices are different from one coin to the next. And the reason is because Every coin has a different price. It's how it works. Depends on the premium. Some of them aren't coins too. If they're rounds, they're not as expensive. So you need to compare apples to apples. Check out the silver price differences. Currently, our generic rounds are something like, I can't, like maybe 60 cents over spot, I think is all. So you can see the pricing there. We also sell numismatics and jewelry. And I love some of these. I want that watch. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about last night that I didn't get to is a friend of mine has been sending me really good information. And specifically, he's on YouTube. There's a pastor on YouTube, and it's Pastor Charles Lawson. I believe it's Charles. And he's a Southern Baptist out of Tennessee, and I do really agree with him. He talks about the real stuff, guys. He really gets into what we look at, and I very much appreciate that. I think that's a big deal. I wish more of our churches would do that, talk about the severity of sin and demonic activity in this world and what's really happening. And one thing he talks about is the Jesuit oath of induction, and that it is very extreme. And I'm going to read through this because there's a lot here, and I think it's important. So the following is the Jesuit extreme oath of induction given to high-ranking Jesuits only, which is our current Pope in the Catholic religion. The current Pope, Pope Francis, is a Jesuit. Okay. This oath is taken from the book Subterranean Rome by Carlos Didier, translated from the French and published in New York in 1843. And so I'm going to go on to read this quoted oath of induction. When a Jesuit of the minor rank is to be elevated to command, he is conducted into the chapel of the convent of the order, where there are only 3 others present, the principal or superior standing in front of the altar. On either side stands a monk, one of whom holds a banner of yellow and white, which are the papal colors, the other a black banner with a dagger and a red cross above a skull and crossbones with the words INRI, and below them the words Eustum Necar Reges Impios. I don't do Latin well, guys. The meaning of which is, it is just to exterminate or annihilate impious or heretical kings, governments, or rulers. Upon the floor is a red cross at which the postulant or candidate kneels. The superior hands him a small black crucifix, which he takes in his left hand and presses to his heart. And the superior at the same time presents to him a dagger, which he grasps by the blade and holds the point against his heart. The superior still holding it by the hilt, and thus addresses the postulant. Superior: My son, heretofore you have been taught to act the dissembler among Roman Catholics, to be a Roman Catholic, and to be a spy even among your own brethren, to believe no man, to trust no man, among the reformers to be a reformer, among the Huguenots to be a Huguenot, among the Calvinists to be a Calvinist, among the Protestants generally to be a Protestant, and obtaining their confidence, to seek even to preach from their pulpits, and to denounce with all the vehemence in your nature our holy religion and the Pope, and even descend so low as to become a Jew among Jews, that you might be enabled to gather together all information for the benefit of your order as a faithful soldier of the Pope. You have been taught to insidiously plant the seeds of jealousy and hatred between communities, provinces, states that were at peace, and incite them to deeds of blood, involving them in war with each other, and to create revolutions and civil wars in countries that were independent and prosperous, cultivating the arts and the sciences, and enjoying the blessings of peace. To take sides with the combatants, and to act secretly with your brother Jesuit, who might be engaged on the other side, but openly opposed to that which you might be connected, only that the church might be the gainer in the end, in the conditions fixed in the treaties for peace, and that the end justifies the means. You have been taught your duty as a spy, to gather all statistics, facts, and information in your power from every source, to ingratiate yourself into the confidence of the family circle of Protestants and heretics of every class and character, as well as that of the merchant, the banker, the lawyer, among the schools and universities, in parliaments and legislatures, and the judiciaries and councils of state, and to be all things to all men, for the Pope's sake, whose servants we are unto death. You have received all your instructions heretofore as a novice, a neophyte, and have served as coadjutor, confessor, and priest, but you have not yet been invested with all that is necessary to command in the army of Loyola in the service of the Pope. You must serve the proper time as the instrument and executioner is directed by your superiors. For none can command here who has not consecrated his labors with the blood of the heretic. For without the shedding of blood no man can be saved. Therefore, to fit yourself for your work, and make your own salvation sure, you will, in addition to your former oath of obedience to your order and allegiance to the Pope, repeat after me. I blank now in the presence of Almighty God, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Blessed Michael the Archangel, the Blessed St. John the Baptist, the Holy Apostles, St. Peter and St. Paul, and all the saints and sacred hosts of heaven, and to you, my ghostly father, the Superior General of the Society of Jesus, founded by St. Ignatius Loyola in the pontificate of Paul III, and continued to the present, do by the womb of the Virgin, the matrix of God, and the rod of Jesus Christ, declare and swear that His Holiness the Pope is Christ's vice-regent, and is the true and only head of the Catholic or universal Church throughout the earth, and that by virtue of the keys of binding and loosing, given to His Holiness by my Savior Jesus Christ, He hath power to depose heretical kings, princes, states, commonwealths, and governments, all being illegal without His sacred confirmation, and that they may safely be destroyed. Therefore, to the utmost of my power, I shall and will defend this doctrine of His Holiness's right and custom against all usurpers of the heretical or Protestant authority whatever, especially the Lutheran of Germany, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and the now pretended authority and churches of England and Scotland, and branches of the same now established in Ireland and on the continent of America and elsewhere, and all adherents in regard that they be usurped and heretical, opposing the sacred Mother Church of Rome. I do now renounce and disown any allegiance as due to any heretical king, prince, or state named Protestants or liberals, or obedience to any of the laws, magistrates, or officers. I do further declare that the doctrine of the churches of England and Scotland, of the Calvinists, Huguenots, and others of the name Protestants or liberals to be damnable, and they themselves damned who will not forsake the same. I do further declare that I will help, assist, and advise all or any of His Holiness's agents in any place wherever I shall be, in Switzerland, Germany, Holland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, England, Ireland, or America, or in any other kingdom or territory I shall come to, and do my utmost to extirpate the heretical Protestants or liberals' doctrines, and to destroy all their pretended powers, regal or otherwise. I do further promise and declare that notwithstanding I am dispensed with to assume my religion heretical for the propaganda of the Mother Church's interests, to keep secret and private all her agents' counsels from time to time, as they may entrust me, and not to divulge directly or indirectly by word, writing, or circumstance whatever, but to execute all that shall be proposed, given in charge, or discovered unto me by you, my ghostly father, or any of the sacred covenant. I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion or will of my own, or any mental reservation whatever, even as a corpse or cadaver, but will unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope and of Jesus Christ, that I may go to any part of the world whithersoever I may be sent, to the frozen regions of the north, the burning sands of the desert of Africa, or the jungles of India, to the centers of civilization of Europe, or to the wild haunts of the barbarous savages of America, without murmuring or repining, and will be submissive in all things whatsoever communicated to me. I furthermore promise and declare that I will, when opportunity present, make and wage relentless war, secretly or openly, against all heretics, Protestants, and liberals, as I am directed to do, to extirpate and exterminate them from the face of the whole earth, and that I will spare neither age, sex, or condition, and that I will hang, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up the stomachs and wombs of their women, and crush their infants' heads against the walls, in order to annihilate forever their execrable race. That when the same cannot be done openly, I will secretly use the poisoned cup, the strangulating cord, the steel of the poniard, or the leaden bullet, regardless of the honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the person or persons, whatever may be their condition in life, either public or private, as I at any time may be directed to do so by any agent of the Pope or superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Faith of the Society of Jesus. Whew. I'm not going to read anymore, guys. This is very upsetting and difficult to read and frustrating and making me a little bit sick. So this is who our Pope is. He he has made this oath, and any Jesuit that's of a higher order has made this oath, and any who wish to go into a higher rank will make this oath. And you read it, to crush our infants' heads if we are not to go along with whatever the Pope decrees as what they should go along with, to destroy people. And that should bother everybody. I don't know why people don't know about this. I know that this Pope is gaining popularity, and that's frightening. I'm not scared of anything, but it's frightening to think that people are getting on board with this kind of person and have no idea who he is. There are so many red pills to wake up to, guys. We really, really, really need to wake people up to as many as possible. And if we can't know it all ourselves, we at least need to know where to look to find the information. One person wants to cover one thing, another person covers another thing, and we all come together and do it together, and we push on the same side to make a difference and have a great awakening. The Catholic Church and the Pope, not the people, not the Catholics. I'm not talking about your everyday Catholic that goes to church. I'm talking about the higher up head of the Catholic Church. It needs to be destroyed. Not by killing them the way they want to kill us, but simply another, with God's hand. Also, I'm going to be praying for that. I hope you would too. I found this one interesting, this article, simply because I used to listen to these people, Dead Can Dance, when I was in high school. I had no idea about anything in high school. But it looks like they're back in the news, and it says Dead Can Dance can envision the rituals of Dionysus. And Dionysus was the wine god, and I'm sure there's a lot more to Dionysus than being the wine god, but I had brought it up because I had listened to them so long ago, and I can see that they're getting into, other gods and New Age type of stuff and this Greek mythology. And I'm so glad that I'm awake to this now, because when I remember back to their music, it was kind of creepy and weird. I don't know why I was into it, but I was also into weird stuff back then. I was a bit of goth, I guess would be the word for what we were doing. Dark hair, dark makeup, dark nail polish. I never really painted my nails, but that'd be part of what goes with it. Anyway, they're clearly pushing this New Age movement, kind of creepy. I haven't looked deep into it, this Bacchus and Dionysus, and I know that not Canary Cry Radio, but Gons on Face Like the Sun did a video on it recently that I'll have to rewatch because I was really tired when I was watching it. And yeah, it's just interesting. That's all I was really going to mention on it. A band I used to listen to in high school, back in the news for their rituals of Dionysus and Bacchus, kind of creepy. So I'm going to keep that and file it kind of in the back of my mind. And I did want to talk about this because I saw it. I don't talk about some of this it's not really mainstream news. I guess it's kind of mainstream for us. I leave it to people like Space Shot and Red Pill 78 to go over some of these things. But this was interesting because, being in gold and silver business and talking hedge funds and having a hedge with gold and silver, it interests me a little bit on that way. But these people are talking about that are in the hedge fund position. This is a mainstream media article, because you can see over here, Republicans are baffled why Trump keeps saying racist things, and it's just some stuff that isn't really remembering the time Jeffrey Epstein wrote on Donald Trump's plane. This is more mainstream media, and yet they're coming out and showing that when you get down to the bottom, these hedge fund people really don't think that he was working hedge funds. It doesn't make any sense to them that he would be a millionaire, billionaire because of hedge funds, because he would have been known in the community and nobody knew him, and he would have not become a billionaire without having some of the spotlight come on him, whether he wanted to or not. You just don't make money without people not knowing about it in the same area of other hedge fund managers and things like that. And so basically this mainstream media article says it right here. Given this puzzling set of data points, the hedge fund managers we spoke to leaned toward the theory that Epstein was running a blackmail scheme under the cover of a hedge fund. So this is important because it's mainstream media that's bringing out the truth about Epstein. People have been kind of back and forth, including myself, about what's going on with him, and are we going to see anything done, or is this just something that is a distraction? And while it is maybe a distraction from something, I'm not sure, it is also bringing out the truth about Epstein and what he's been doing and his sick past. even in mainstream media. They can't ignore it any longer. And I've seen a few articles that say, was QAnon right? And it's coming around, guys, so just keep at it. They're still going to keep trying to put us down, but don't give up. Definitely want to cover this because I've talked about Morgellons and Lyme disease a little bit, mostly Morgellons, and also basically there's some kind of connection as well with syphilis. So it's like there's a progression, I believe, syphilis, Lyme disease, Morgellons, from what I've heard. I'm not an expert on this, and I haven't done a lot of research on it recently, except for with the nanobots and the Morgellons disease. But this is an article that's saying that the Pentagon is now ordered to tell Congress, the Pentagon has been ordered to tell Congress if it weaponized ticks and release them into the public. So they're thinking back in the 50 to 75, that they did experiments with these ticks. Because I was wondering, I'm thinking, I know that they're saying it's a tick-borne illness with Lyme disease, but I didn't know much more than that, even as a medical, in the medical field. And I didn't understand now with the Morgellons, was it still coming from ticks or not? And now I understand that it certainly is, and it was done on purpose, and they don't get into that specifically in this article. Of course, they're not going to tell you they're trying to kill their own people, but it's just like the Tuskegee thing with all the syphilis injections on, people were injected with syphilis on purpose. And so it just more disgusting truths coming out that we're finding out that Lyme disease was probably a weaponized tick problem. And it is related to syphilis and Morgellons because of the nature of the spirochete disease and the nature of the symptoms, and that they progress and they become worse. And there's, you've got people like Harold Creutzfeldt that do say it can be cured, and I'd like to believe him. I hope that's the case, but no mainstream doctor or nurse or PA or anyone has any idea how to. And we aren't given the means to do it. And so if you want to get cured, you're going to pay a lot of money to somebody else who's going to have to pay full price for it as well to get it to you. So basically, if you want to get treated for Morgellons or Lyme disease or syphilis, it's not just going to be a simple antibiotic. And by the way, if there's any kind of fungal growth to these things, which I believe there is, if you take antibiotics, it increases the growth of a fungus. So that's really, I think, the opposite of what you should be doing. I would not take an antibiotic for this stuff, guys. I don't care what they say. Okay, somebody sent me this on Twitter, and I got very excited. Scientists capture photographic proof of quantum entanglement. Humans tend to think they have a pretty good handle on how the physical world operates, but things get unspeakably weird at the small scale. Particles aren't always particles, and sometimes these particles or waves behave in bizarre, counterintuitive ways. One of the strangest features of physics is quantum entanglement, and scientists from the University of Glasgow have just captured the first photo demonstrating the effect. I mean, it's hard to tell what that is, right? But anyway, it says when two particles or molecules become entangled on a quantum level, they share one or more properties such as spin, polarization, or momentum. This effect persists even if you move one of the entangled objects far away from the other. Einstein called this entanglement spooky action at a distance. Einstein felt the existence of entanglement meant there were gaping holes in quantum mechanical theory. Oh, too bad that Einstein was a paid shill. I'm just kidding, I'm not sure. Anyway, scientists have successfully demonstrated quantum entanglement with photons, electrons, molecules of various sizes, and even very small diamonds. The University of Glasgow study is the first to ever capture visual evidence of entanglement, though. Okay. They said that scientists have demonstrated it with photos, but now this is the first one that's captured it visually? Okay. The experiment used photons that entangled pairs and measured the phase of the particles. This is known as a Bell entanglement. The team produced photons with an ultraviolet laser, passing them through a crystal that causes some of the photos to become entangled. A beam some of the photos became... Photos? They meant photons. Okay, this is a bad article. Typos. That's a big typo. Okay, the team produced photons with an ultraviolet laser, passing them through a crystal that causes some of the photons to become entangled. A beam splitter turned the beam into two equal arms, with some of the entangled photos going down different paths. Since they were entangled, they continue to share the same phase even after being separated. So there's a picture of it. Let's see where we're starting here. Yeah, I'm not really sure I understand this picture, but I'm sure if I spent some time, I'd understand it. Anyway, one of those photons passes through a liquid crystal material that runs it through 4 phase transitions. So there we go. 0, 45, 90, and 135 degrees. The team used a highly sensitive camera to capture images of the entangled photon that hadn't gone through the filter. However, it showed the same phase transitions as its partner. The image above shows the entangled pair at the 45-degree phase. Scientists believe that quantum entanglement could have its applications in quantum computing, data transmission, yeah, and even teleportation, of course, because you're getting from here to there without using any energy. For any of that to work, we need to study entanglement in a much greater detail. The University of Glasgow experiment may open the door to new types of imaging that can help us come to grips with that spooky action at a distance. I guess that's the photo, guys. So, there you go. All right. Okay, I want to go over one more thing, and it's about this Billie Eilish that I've been doing. My script is pretty much done. All I have to do is record my voice and then put together the video. That's a little bit time consuming, but today's Tuesday. I should be able to have this done by Friday. I should definitely have this done by Friday. It should not take that long, even though it's a little bit frustrating to me because I'm getting just so sick of this chick and her following. I want you guys to see the kind of reach this girl has. It's really quite disturbing to me. Oh, I didn't want that. Oh God, get rid of it, please. I want her, here she is. I want to show the disturbing aspect of the reach of these people. I was just watching Paul Romano do the same thing with Cardi B, and I was like, man, yikes. So Billie Eilish, just on YouTube, has 17,399,000 subscribers. And she has, on her videos, millions of views, right? I mean, 385 million views on this one. 383 million views. 307 million, 213 million, 4.3 million, 4.4 million. There's a lot of millions of views. It's odd just how many people want to see her. And so I've only watched her videos without playing the music, and I'm going to do more of that when I do my video that I'm recording. But just creepy, so creepy. And somehow people are insanely into this chick. Here's her Twitter. She's got 2.3 million followers on Twitter. Not quite the following of YouTube, but she's a musician, so I guess YouTube would review her as that. And, you know, nothing demonic about this. Nothing. Not one thing. And here's her Instagram. Okay, guys, look at her Instagram, how many followers she has on Instagram. Well, I was stalking her. 31.3 million. Oh, and of course, she's following 666 because she's not demonic at all. It's mind-blowing, guys. It's upsetting and disgusting to me. And she's creepy in 100 ways. She dresses really oddly, and there's supposedly some really touching reason why. And look at this. Look at this crowd of people to see her. Why? There's nothing positive about her. There's nothing loving coming from her. She doesn't love. She has no love for us. She doesn't want to speak truth or love. She's got a creepy, incredibly long fingernails, and these people love her. These little girls love her. This is not a woman who wants to teach us the light and love of Jesus, guys. You know, it's that venom, and the amount of chains around her neck speaks to a slave. I mean, I really am going to talk about this in this other video. So bathtubs, there's bathtub rituals are a big thing, and I will have to do a video on that one of these days because it's pretty significant. I mean, I don't understand these clothes, but you're not supposed to because we're not ghouls, you know, we're not demonic. all these weird pants and her creepy demonic eyes. And this was my response. Very satanic. Clearly, that's me, 7K Sister Golden Hair. Very satanic. Clearly, a demonic transmutation has occurred here. Free yourself. Bring your true consciousness out in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm sure that will never happen for her. I wasn't the only person that thought it was creepy, though. And here's part of her creepy video, you guys. It's so disturbing when you hear the music to it that I don't think I'll ever play it again with the music to it. It was absolutely awful, disgusting. But she's got so many fans, and I am not joking when I said that I clicked on, or not, when I tell you, I didn't say it yet, I'm about to tell you. When I clicked on one of these videos way down here, it was pretty far down. At some show she did. Okay, skull scraping eye, if you ask me. Okay, I clicked on this, and just watch these people freak out. They're going absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts, and I can't even take it. It had me in tears. Because why do these people love this girl, this satanic, and she's always got upside down crosses on her necklaces. She's always doing devil horns and just creepy stuff. Creepy. I don't even want to know what this is. I don't want to know what it is. Creepy, 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 creepy. Anyway, I just want you guys to realize this is the kind of following she has. And the people that are listening to her are little girls. So please check yourselves if you have let your child listen to this. I was talking to somebody else who says his daughter was listening to it, and I said, please make her stop. She's 10 years old. Some 14-year-old just hung herself in my own hometown, guys, successfully killed herself when her boyfriend dumped her. And I said to my friend, I bet she was listening to Billie Eilish, and my friend thought I was crazy. Thought I was absolutely nuts. And I say, nope. I don't think I'm crazy at all, because this girl pushes suicidal thought, suicidal ideation, suicidal tendencies, and she wants you to feel alone and dark because she wants you to relate to her. She wants you to relate to her ghoulish, spider-eating, demonic, long fingernails, upside-down crosses, chains, and ridiculous clothing and ridiculous lifestyle, and feeling sad and blue and crying out black goo, demonic black goo. Guys, please do not let your children listen to this crap. For the love of God, I'm praying to Jesus Christ today that people will just not care about this anymore. However, I know that the devil is working hard, so we need to work 3 times as hard, guys. We need to work 3 times as hard to save souls, and they can call me crazy and they can call me goofy, but I'm serious. I just don't want anyone else to get hurt by it. I see these girls screaming their heads off, and it just breaks my heart. So I'm praying for them all, hoping that I'll have enough faith to change one heart. So thanks, guys. I really do appreciate you. I'm not going to do any self video today because I've just not got the lighting for it. I will do that when I go live again next time and get all the kinks figured out. But please go ahead and buy up some spots. There's only 4 left for the Libertad, and I'll get you a spot on the gold, and we're getting that gold filled up on the ½ ounce, guys. It's a big deal. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Please pray for me the full armor, as I will pray for you guys the full armor continuously. We need it at all times. I love you guys. God bless.